Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, gentlemen. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. This is Wednesday Epic Cash Live. And today I have a very special guest, which used to always be the co-host on Wednesdays, Todd Lewis. But he decided that he and his he and his team of engineers, didn't love me anymore. And they said, we got to go do some work, Todd. And let me call you when we're ready to talk about some tech updates. So he reached out to me the end of last week and he said, hey, I have some tech updates would like to share with the community. I don't know about you guys, but I can't get me enough of Todd Lewis, especially when he's wearing a t-shirt. Can you show us? You're representing the street today.
I am representing the street.
And I also have Max Freeman on the line today. And I have to tell you, Todd's going to go through his list, but then Max is going to give you a sneak peek into our new sexy mobile wallet. So from a tech standpoint, everyone, it is time to drop your tech huggies.
We are hiking the skirt today. Before we get started,
Okay.
Uncle, I just want to give a public shout out to you for your professionalism. I know your father recently passed away, and if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't be here live streaming. I know logistically you're on your way out there, and just the fact that you can even be here and do this, given that happening, it says a lot about your heart and determination. So if anyone's out there listening, send a warm welcome or warm message to Uncle V and his tough time.
Well, thank you very much. I have to tell you, my dad passed Monday, and while it was expected, even prayed for, because he just was battling his dementia demons, it was really tough when all of a sudden you hear it and it's final. And so thank you, and I want to thank everybody in the community who has reached out to me. And I must admit, it's like you guys and this community that really has kept me kind of down to earth this week. And next week, you know what? We will have an Epic Cash Live next week because I'll get back Thursday. But we won't be doing anything else during the week because I fly out Monday and fly back Thursday. So thank you, Max. I really appreciate that. And again, everyone in the community, thank you. Okay, the only other couple of updates I want to be able to say is those of you know that last Friday we did a fundraise for the Crypto Coin Show. We had Ashton Addison on, and want to let you know that it was successful. In less than 24 hours, our community rallied. And Max, can you tell me, you're already on Ashton's calendar, right, for the interview?
We don't have a calendar, but we've been talking. He's very stoked. He's engaged. I'm feeling very optimistic about that. I think he'll be a great community member, not just a guy who does a video.
Right, that's the other thing. Yeah, he's now knee deep into all of our different chats and discussions. So thank you everybody in the community for that. Also, we have Taylor from Coin Bureau, who we've been engaged with, and he's going to be writing some articles on Epic Cash, or more macro subjects where Epic Cash is going to be part of it. And it is so interesting. The more he is investigating us, I think the lower his jaw drops. And he has said some very, very kind things about us. And I look forward to his articles. And ultimately, in time, we may even be covered by them on their Coin Bureau YouTube channel. But that'll be down the line. So anyway, thank you. That's all I have from me. So Todd Lewis, it has been a while, and I want to talk about the original Grand Wallet code base. And please talk down to my level, because I don't know much with all of this, but I know that you and your team have been trying to unblock some tech and actually, I don't know, reinvent it or whatever. So I'm just going to throw out the open question. What do you want to talk about today, Toddy?
Well, we've had this problem where big wallets are having problems, and some users were struggling with this, and they reached out for help, and we looked into it. And we started Epic as a fork of the Grin project, and reused a big chunk of their code, and then extended it and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And we always knew we would have to come back to some of these issues in the future, and this is one of those issues. So the Grin code, oh geez. Okay. So they've got a database, and normally when you have a database, you put data in and the database keeps track of what the data is. When you need to find it later, you can go straight to it.
Okay.
That's most of what a database does. That's why you stick data in a database. The database used in our code is what I like to call a database. So it sticks the data on the disk and then it loads it back later, but it just dumps all the data on disk and then later it loads all of it back into memory. And the way it queries the database for a given transaction, for example, in the wallet, is it starts at the first one, says, is this one it? Nope. Is the second one it? Nope. Is the third one it? Nope. The 25 minutes later, is the 87,000th one it? No. Is the 87,001st one it? No.
Wow.
Which is not what databases are supposed to do. And when you only have 50 transactions in a wallet, it doesn't matter because computers are fast. But when you have many thousands or tens of thousands of transactions in the wallet, it really starts to be a problem.
Okay.
But wait, there's more. Because Rust is memory safe, you have to be careful with how you move the data around inside of it. This is good. It creates a lot of safety, but the way this data structure is being passed around, it's being copied everywhere. Which, again, if you only have 50 transactions, it doesn't matter. If you have 50,000 transactions, it matters.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, this database is really tightly tied into Rust. So it's very easy to program. You can bang out a prototype really fast with it. But there's no real separation between the database structure and the data structures and how they're serialized. It's all kind of mixed in together. And this thing wasn't even built for the wallet. It was built for the core server, and then it was just reused over in the wallet and just kind of hammered in. And so, gosh, we were hoping that we could look at this problem and be like, oh yeah, we just, bang out a quick fix. And that was not possible. These are like deep structural problems.
Wow.
So we didn't give up, because that's not what we do. We went and we decided to replace the database with what I like to call a database. an actual database with indexes. So when you're looking for one item, the database says, yeah, it's on page 37, and you go straight to it and you get it right away.
Who'd have thunk it that would be important?
Yeah. So we're switching from LMDB, which is this Rust thing that's easy to program, but is not really a database, to SQLite. And SQLite is the obvious choice for this, and it's a good one. It's very mature. It's been around for a long time. It's used in a few pieces of software like iOS, Android, Chrome, Firefox. SQLite is used everywhere by everybody, right?
Yes.
So it's one of those pieces of software that you have confidence is going to pretty much work, which is something we really like. And SQLite is an actual database. So when you stick the data in, SQLite remembers. So when you need to get it out later, you don't have to look through however many transactions you have. Instead, SQLite just says it's right there and you go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So So we're doing that, and this is pretty major surgery on the code base in the wallet. We also have to update the serialization because that was all tied into the old stuff.
Can I ask a newbie question?
Yeah.
Which wallet are we talking about? I mean, we have the Epic Cash.
The CLI wallet.
Okay,
right.
and
that's,
I know
that's the core piece of technology that just about all of the GUI wallets are based on.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so wallets lean on the CLI wallet like a kickstand, right? If the CLI wallet isn't efficient or is broken, I know it's not broken, but it's not really a database. But
it's pretty broken. If your wallet is big enough, then the performance is so bad that your transactions start timing out, and it just won't be able to complete them.
Okay. Okay.
So we're talking like 20, 30, 40 seconds to process a transaction in one of these really big wallets.
And one of these really big wallets might be what? The VGate?
That's one. People who've just put a lot of transactions through, or people who have different usage patterns such that they have a lot of transaction records in their wallet history.
Okay.
Right? So if you've sent 5,000 micro drops to people, you've got 5,000 transactions in your wallet, right?
I see.
So it's really not about how much money you've put through the wallet; it's about how many transactions you put through the wallet.
Okay. Okay.
But
so at some point,
as our user base matures, more and more people are going to start running into these problems unless we fix them.
And they'll get the Heisman, or their transaction will get the Heisman. It may not even get through because it's just inefficient as hell. It's still looking, is this one the transaction? Is this?
It's and we're going to copy all 10,000 of them again, and we're going to copy all 10,000 of them again. And the memory is blowing up to be huge, which itself leads to slowdowns. It's just bad.
Okay, so your major surgery that you and your team are doing, that's going to take this out of the realm of being a grin fork to literally being almost a Control-Alt-Delete, right? It's new code.
No, I mean we've already made major changes to the system. Epic has diverged pretty far from Grid.
Okay.
And this will diverge the wallet further. But no, I mean it's not a ground up rewrite. Okay.
Okay. Is this what is needed to functionalize Epic Box, or they call it Epic Post, or whatever it is, or are we talking about entirely different thing?
Well, I mean, Epic Box and Epic Post make use of the wallet, right? So they're going to be susceptible to the same kind of problems. So it is going to be helpful to that, but it is a different development effort.
Okay. Okay. All right.
All this stuff is related because if there's a bottleneck in one area, it tends to clog up the works in other areas as people are in waiting for someone else to do something mode rather than action unobstructed mode. So even if it's not directly connected, it kind of all does connect in a way.
So then what is there now a key blocker to shipping the newly refined real database code? I don't even know if I'm saying this right.
Well, we're mostly done. So we expect to be testing it this week.
Okay, great.
And one of the nice things about Rust is it really takes forever to do major changes like this. You just have 1,000 things you have to touch and update and change the types around, and then
Hearing you type, Max. Sorry.
Yep. Sorry.
No problem.
But then once you're done, you're pretty done because the system is designed to keep you safe. That's why it's so much work to get it done.
Okay.
Right?
So
this is work on the front end, and then once you have it actually going, the number of problems that remain is usually pretty small.
So this is that like mega ounce of prevention that you're going through here, right?
Rust, well, and this is just what it's like to use a strongly typed safe language like Rust. It takes a long time to get these changes to go through, and then once you do get them through, they work and they're safe.
Okay,
that's all the work.
Yeah, and we're also investing in test coverage extension and proper documentation, and also communication about what's going on to Sky King and the rest of the labs crew. So, we're not just delivering a result, we're mindful of the fact that we have to maintain and extend what we build into the months and quarters and years in the future, which
So does
is a
that mean
distinctly
that,
different task.
so does that mean that all the GUI wallets out there, or any wallets out there, are going to have to make some changes themselves to reintegrate, or no?
Nope. Nope, this should be completely invisible to them.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're not changing any of the commands. We're not changing any of the interfaces. It's just down in the engine room.
Okay.
We're replacing the engine of the wallet.
And that's actually really hard to do, and that's part of why this took so long, is because the engineering that we inherited from Grin, I mean, they did so many amazing things right, but this is one of those things that maybe they were in a hurry, or figured they would get back to it later. I mean, it's taken us quite a while to outgrow the transactional limitations of what we inherited, but now that we have, it is a major blocker to larger scale usage. But once we have it, this is never coming back as an issue. Yeah.
Great. So Max, you do have your finger on the pulse of everything downstream that this that depends on this. Can you give us just any indication of, once Todd and his team are done, what's that going to help?
Oh my God. Okay. So Pool Boy's already working on GUI 5. So there's a big, if anybody has any feature requests, feel free to send those through the help desk. That helps us decide which things get priority, but because they're needed, we chose to optimize for user friendliness and unblocking mass adoption stuff, more so than supporting extreme nerd edge cases where people can compile themselves. But we do need that bit of feedback. So GUI 5 is one thing. Also, being able to enable the various wallets to talk to each other, and tip bot services, vGate, stuff like that, mining pools. Once this is out, the various disconnected forms of our asset that are out there are going to be able to talk to each other more easily. So this is meaningful in many, many ways, not just about vGate itself.
Okay.
Well, and you guys mentioned the testing. One of the things that's been really nice about this is our automated testing framework that we put in place. It took about 11 lines of code in that testing framework for us to spin up a chain, put 50,000 transactions through, get the whole thing tested to the point that we're simulating the failure, recreate the failure, time it, and whatnot. It was so that kind of investment continues to pay off, where when we fix it, we're going to be able to see that it's fixed, and we're going to be able to keep it fixed going forward, because the test is going to make sure that the performance is all.
Well, I'm just after spending so much time with you, I'm a little underwhelmed that it was over 10 lines of code. I mean, come on, Todd.
Well, I'll ask.
Do better. Do better.
I'll ask the guys. So yeah, we've got to migrate the data from the old database to the new database. We've got to write up instructions for all this stuff, but the end result should be that whether you have 10 transactions in your wallet, or 10,000, or 10 million, the performance basically should be the same.
So this is a giant step towards mass adoption not going wrong, right? Because
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, because there's nothing worse than the first impression and it not working in a major way, right? So good on you, and good on the team. What else? Anything else going on in your world?
Yeah, pull up your Telegram. I sent you a link so you can do the screen share. I'll let you do the presentation, but let me take you through the mobile wallet, because that's really, really exciting.
Where did you put it?
I sent it to Telegram.
I know, but which one?
Oh, your DM, Epic Mobile Wallet 1.0 by CipherStack.
So my DM from you.
Yeah.
All right. Max. Thank you. Here we go. All right. Let me screen share.
All right.
And boom. Can you see that?
Yep. Oh, mute. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Go into presentation mode, maybe.
Uh,
Slideshow.
slideshow. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
It says loading.
You might want to do it in the window because full screen mode sometimes doesn't screen share right.
Okay, let me stop sharing because that totally, now I can't even get out of I literally can't get out of this window.
You know what? Here, I can do it. Give me 1 sec. Let me just pull it up in my other
Okay.
browser here.
Why can't I get out of this window? Well, that sucks.
All right. Okay.
Note to self, don't ever do this.
All right. Can we see?
I don't know because I can't.
Todd, can you see my screen?
Yeah, it looks great.
All right. So Epic Mobile Wallet 1.0 by CipherStack. Thank you, Diego. So we went for super simplicity here. Every time we do a release, we try to make it that much easier versus the way it was before. So if you've used the Stack wallet, you know that it's a number of steps to get to the point where you have a wallet set up and you can say, hey, here's my address, send me a coin. We optimize that considerably. This is a fork of Stack wallets built by Diego's team. They burned the candle at both ends over the weekend. So if you're feeling flush with cash and want to support that, it would be great to get his beak wet a little bit. Talk to McMurphy if you're in that kind of position for some IOUs or EMPL or whatever. They burned the candle at both ends all weekend to get this out. So this is the Stack wallet, which we know and love, that we know works, and we've been debugging for months as a multi-chain wallet, except it only handles our stuff. So this is our wallet. We control it. We, drive the destiny. We can do what we want with it, but it benefits from the upstream presence of Diego and what he's doing to connect into other coins. We've had some great conversations with Change Now and some other swap services where we're working on making it so that you can deal with other coins and swap in and out of them. But it needs to be easy and user friendly and right. So we're working on that behind the scenes. This is the 1.0. What we have today. This is sending and receiving on mobile. So this is the home screen, very simple. You've only got 3 options: send, receive, and your wallet. This is your wallet. You can see those are actual transactions I did very recently to play with this. It does not run a local node currently. It connects to remote nodes. Future releases will have the option for a local node, so that'll increase our decentralization quite a bit. Further down the line, there's still some sticky issues to resolve, but mobile mining, of course, remains on the horizon, and we'll get there eventually. So this is where the rubber meets the road. Receive. You can generate a QR code if you want with a note. There's some interesting stuff coming in through Tipbot over Telegram that Black Tiger's working on. Also the giver of Epic Faucet. So you can see we've got a standard address that people are used to, like with Veet or BTC or Ether or so on. Mimblewimble under the hood does not have addresses, so this relies on a solution called Epic Post to pass the messages around. And going forward, there's going to be a service called epicpay.me based around Epic Box that will be that intermediate relay between people's local wallets. So just as a reminder, the transaction process in Mimblewimble is a 3-step process. You need to handshake and kind of ping pong it back and forth, which is a major pain point for UI and process flow. And it's a big reason why Mimblewimble really hasn't been able to go mainstream until now. So this looks simple, but it's actually a major breakthrough. So to send, it's super easy. You just paste the address. Once you send, it'll ask you, do you want to save that into your address book? So that makes it easy to send to the same people over and over. This is an example of what that address book looks like. Super simple. We'll get more elaborate as we go. This is the transaction detail. That's an actual transaction on the network. If you go and check it out, if you put that transaction ID or actually, okay, this is sending. So if it's sent, it would give me an output commit ID or a hash that we could copy and paste into a block explorer and see the details. This is a sneak peek of the new Explorer. The team out in India, Karthi and Pime, and many others at BlazeMax Solutions have been working on the new Explorer, which will be called EDNA, Epicenter Data and Network Analytics. This is a very rough early sneak peek of what it eventually will look like. Some of the colors haven't been updated and stuff, so it looks a little odd, but you can get a sense of where we're going with it. And then we've got the help desk, Epic Cache help desk. If you notice any bugs, or especially if you have suggestions, just pass it through there, and we can help improve the product. So yeah, we're dog fooding the wallet. I'm using it, 04 plus. A lot of people are sandpapering off the rough edges, and we hope to push it out more widely over the next couple of days.
Excellent.
Yeah, big breakthrough.
I literally have totally lost my, I don't even know if we're live streaming anymore, guys. Just whatever I did when I opened that up, I can't get out of it. So can somebody confirm?
I checked. It looks like we're still live.
Looks fine.
Okay, so I don't know what is showing on screen right now. Is it me?
It's you.
Okay, fine. Then I'm just going to have to reboot my computer once this live stream is done, so I don't have any screen sharing capabilities or stop sharing. I don't think so. Anyway, I was. Let me just try one thing. You guys mind? Just want to. No, still a bad idea. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. This is bad TV, so let me. I will never, ever do that again.
Another thing that's coming really close that'll be integrated into this pretty soon is buyepiccache.com. So we have a couple partnerships, one with a company called SwipeLux, and there's a few other ones out there as well. So pretty soon, the currently very friction-laden multi-dozen step process of people actually being able to acquire our Epic will get solved as well. So when it rains, it pours. There's so many green shoots of seeds that have been planted into fertilized soil long ago that are just starting to poke their heads out above the ground. So as always, if you've been waiting on the sidelines, wondering, should I wait until it goes down some more to maybe pick up some? On balance, there's a lot of positive catalysts coming.
Right. Can you give us, can you guys both give us just a little insight on ECR and that distribution and what, when?
Yeah, getting really close. So we're targeting Binance Smart Chain as the primary home. So just to recap, there's currently 15 million Epic coins, something like that. And we've done 2 snapshots. The initial supply of ECR will be 44 million. If you had the February snapshot, you will get 2 for 1. So 22 of the 44 million ECR that are created initially go to people who held before February 2021. An additional 15 million on top of that, so we're up to 37 of the 44 go to people that held as of December. So then what happens to the remaining 7 million? There's all kinds of different buckets that they'll go into. We've got just under 300 identified contributors now, and we're still going through to make sure everybody who's had a wet oar that's been helping gets recognized. So if Ryan Comiskey does an outreach to you and sets up a chat group with me, that's probably what it's about. We're making sure that everybody who has done something for the project gets recognized with some of those ECR tokens that'll be out there. And the other thing that we're doing is developing a staking program. So if you hold Epic and you believe long-term and you're not too wild on doing liquidity provider because of impermanent loss, and you don't want to have to put up the stable coin side to do the LP yield farming thing, we're developing a staking program where if you have Epic, you'll be able to stake that and earn even more ECR. So we're getting really, really close. There's a lot of activity. I think we're up to version 17 on the white book, something like that. It'll end up being a couple hundred pages by the time we're done. We really want to make sure that people know what it is they're getting and why it's so special and why they may want to own it. Because this is crucial for the governance of our EUSD stablecoin and our wider ecosystem, and we need to make sure that it's in the right kind of hands. What we've seen in the case of MakerDAO and some other projects is that when people give up the governance tokens and they don't really care, then hostile interests can negatively impact the project based on the apathy of governance participation. And so we're trying to be really cognizant of not making those same mistakes.
Can I be Dr. Skeptic here? And just with everything that has gone on in the world of crypto over the last, let's call it 8 weeks, 12 weeks or whatever, and we've seen this bridge hacked and that bridge hacked. Can you please enlighten me? Because I love my Epic. I want to hold on to my Epic and I do not want it stolen. So how can I stake my Epic to where I still hold the keys? Is that a deal? Explain it.
Yes. Yeah. So the way it will work is you will wrap your Epic into the EXPL cross protocol layer. So that the reason these bridges get hacked is because they're designed in a sloppy or compromisable kind of way. We've been studying every bridge that's out there, and even the ones that aren't out there that are in the works for years to make the right technology choices. So shout out to Islo and Johnny, who have been doing a lot of the deep research on that. As we always do, we're designing things properly the first time, which is part of why they take so long to make sure that those problems that others have had don't happen. We know what tech works. We know what tech doesn't work. The way it functions under the hood is essentially it uses a technology called SMPC, or Secure Multi-Party Computation, from a partner called WANchain, where the keys are essentially sharded out and split up among nodes, and you would need to compromise all the nodes to be able to get access to the crypto. So
I'm giving up my keys at some point.
But you're giving up the keys to the Epic, which remains locked in the escrow contract, but you're getting keys to the tokens. So you are in control of keys at all times.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that if I don't ask them, somebody else these questions.
No, these are great questions. And then the way that'll work is we're going to develop a series of timescales. So if you want to stake for an hour, a day, a week, a month, a quarter, a year, probably not longer than a year, but that's basically what we're thinking. So the people that are most committed and have the highest conviction, like for me, I'm not selling any for a long time, so I'd be happy to stake for a year, but maybe you just want to test it out, and so you do it for an hour and then you go, okay, this is cool, let me re-up for next week as people get more comfortable with it. Right. And with all this stuff, we're using proven tech that has already been done out there in the marketplace. So we know it's tested, working, never been exploited. In the case of what I just described, that's from a project called New Cipher and their NU token, where they did something similar with Ether. That's how they bootstrapped the distribution of their network.
Okay, so I'm not the sharpest bulb in the box. That was on purpose, presented wrong. But it seems to me if we have a lot of participation in this, I'm one of those like you that I do not intend to sell my Epic for a long time, because I think of each one of my Epic at minimum as $1,000. And I personally, in my own life, I don't need to sell Epic. I understand some people at some point in their lives, they may need it to just satisfy their current operating reality needs. And I respect that. But I will, once it's kid tested, mother approved, likely be one of these year-long stakers, right? So that would take a lot of the supply off the market.
Mhm.
How might that impact the number go up?
Number go up. Richard Hart would call those pumpamentals. So yeah, we've got very perceptive. So we got 15 million supply out there, and we're doing some modeling to figure out how we can get maybe 5 million, maybe as high as 10 of the supply absorbed. We know we have diamond hands holders, and people are not looking to sell anytime soon. So if we can get get fine tune the details right as far as providing incentives of why our holders would want to signal that commitment and go all in, I think it's significant, not just from a scarcity perspective. So just for context, BTC has 19 million coins on the network, but there's as high as 50 million when you include all the paper claims and IOUs and financialization that's out there. So Epic doesn't have that. There's 15 million coins, but let's say we could shrink that, we could absorb 5 million of the supply and take that down to 10 million. So now our primary competitor has 5 times as many coins, and each one is $17,000. So for my little chicken brain, 5 times 17,000. Okay, I'm not saying Epic's going to be 85,000, but it's certainly not going to be 50 cents. Let's say. So one aspect is that scarcity, but the other thing is that it's a strong signal of commitment to the market. So BTC maxis, the laser-eyed bullies on Twitter, like to talk about how great it is that so much of BTC hasn't moved for so long. Oh, it's dead. It's not dead. It's just sitting there. Like, oh, our people are so committed. They've held it for 10 years. Just because they've held it for 5 or 10 years doesn't mean that they couldn't whip out that ledger and dump it onto the market at any time. Right. So if our supply is frozen and people know that we're strong and unified as a community, okay, you may have 100,000 soldiers, Persians at the Battle of Thermopylae, but we've got 300 guys dug in with shields and pikes, and you're going to lose 100,000 trying to attack our 300 just because of the dynamics of it. So if we show our strength and unity out to the market, it becomes a little less crazy why one Epic is worth less than one BTC. And that kind of changes the narrative.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, there's all of this, and then there's so many other things that I know that are going on behind the scenes. It really is a fantastic time to be in Epic Cash. And Todd, you know, this is your live stream. Thank you for sharing it with Max and me. What else are you working on, or what questions haven't I asked that I should have?
So I just want to clarify, Amit Beats from the chat. Thank you for that, Amit. Said, can someone please clarify, did Max say investors will get double the ECR if we held since the first snapshot? So yes, that's right. If you have coins from before February 2021 and you still hold them, you will get 2-for-1 ECR. So we're trying to make sure that everyone, old holders, today's holders, we want to make sure everyone gets a chance, and it's also rewarded in the right kind of way. Also, if you're holding IOUs, as we call those in, we're going to be distributing some of the ECR to EIOU holders. So we basically want to make sure people are rewarded for their faith and being in the boat with us.
That's great. All right, Todd, the only question I haven't asked is, have you been shot in the head with a dart by one of your kids recently?
Not this afternoon. Yeah. So yeah, we're working to finish this up. We'll probably do a private beta to the people who are most affected. And then we've been doing a lot of housekeeping, getting ready for our next release. And the speed up of bootstrapping a new server. We're really looking forward to having that in. So should take startup times in our testing from 3 days down to less than 15 minutes. I did it the other day. I did it the other day here in Brazil, and I don't have great internet, and it was like 12 minutes for me.
Let's talk about that for a second. So it currently takes, what is it, a month to sync a BTC node? Is that right, Todd? Is it 3 weeks? Is it a month? Something like that?
It's a long time.
So BTC, you have to download 450 gigs of data, and you have to download all that data before you can begin supporting the network. In our case, because it's only 3 gigs of data, that currently takes around 3 days, which is much faster, but that's still way too long. So what Todd and team did is develop a CDN-based solution, a content delivery network that pulls the latest chain file from somewhere out there on the interwebs and sucks it down. And then within 20 minutes, that new node can be helping to support the network. So as part of the Epic Everywhere campaign, Yoga, the last we checked, we've had nodes pop up in 122 countries. But that's not enough. We need all of them. So we've got a detailed plan in place where we intend to have a node in every single country in the world, and we will, and that's the first milestone. And then after that, we're going to get more nodes than BTC. So definitely in 2023, we will have the widest store of value, proof of work, cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer electronic cash network in the world. And so one by one, these reasons why maxis can say that BTC should be on top and valued as it is, steadily fall away as what?
Sorry, keep going.
Steadily fall away as we demonstrate objectively on raw numbers that we are superior. And then it becomes just braggadocio and hubris, that like your marketing spin cannot overwhelm the actual facts on the ground, which are on our side.
Excellent. All right. Anything else, gentlemen? Yeah, Patrick says,
oh,
get me enough of Todd Lewis. So there you go, Toddy.
I know how he feels. But other stuff that's coming. Once this is unblocked, a lot of stuff will start coming hot and heavy. The node bootstrap is high priority. Beyond that, we've got emojis on the horizon. So imagine sending a string of emojis through Telegram or Twitter or WhatsApp or whatever back and forth, and that consummates the transaction. That will be integrated into such things as a Telegram tip bot and things like that. We've got a lot of new interface design possibilities once that is out. QR code. What else am I missing, Todd? I know we've got a lot of good stuff on the horizon. What will come out over the next 3 months or so?
I don't know if it'll be 3 months, but it should be in the next 6. I'm really looking forward to quantum resistance. So we got that prototyped, and it needs to take a back seat to things like the wallet fix that are affecting users. But I'm really looking forward to having quantum resistance on Epic.
That'll be amazing for sure. Yeah. Okay, I know, Todd, that you have a 12:45 hard stop, so I want to be mindful of that. Anything you'd like to share with the good folks that are in the chat?
Our test framework is pretty straightforward for non-technical users to contribute tests to.
Okay.
So if anyone's motivated and wants to help out, that's an easy way to get, start getting involved in the technology ecosystem of Epic and learn more about the chain and how it works, and maybe make some contributions. So again, want to pump.
And how would somebody find you in that to be able to get involved? Because I'm sure there will be people that will want to.
You just go on the Epic Labs channel in Telegram.
Okay. Epic Labs.
Epicenter Labs, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to, Max or Todd, maybe shoot me a link and then I'll include that in the show notes.
Yep, very good.
Perfect. All right, Max, anything from you, my friend?
I'm going to save all the other stuff for next week.
Okay, or for Friday.
Or for Friday. Yeah. It's coming hot and heavy now.
We'll be here Friday, won't be here next week, but we'll be here next Friday. So got the 2 Epic Cash lives on Fridays covered. But so cool. Yeah, I'll look forward to Friday.
Thanks, Uncle.
All right. You're welcome. Everybody have a good one.
Thank you,
and we will see you on Friday at noon. Cheers.